Alright, today we're going to open up here Ruthless Regiment Commander deck with Commander Jirina Kudrow. Very good warping on that thing. There we go. There she is in all her boilerly goodness. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to separate these into relatively common piles and go over everything that is involved. Alright, here we go. So we're going to go over the cards now. First off, we got Jirina Kudrow. This is the cover commander on the front of the box that you get the large version of. She is for 4, you get a 3/3. When Jirina Kudrow enters a battlefield, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token for each time you cast a commander. So that's any commander, so if you don't use her as a commander, you get that registered for other commanders once you play her. A little bit of a note on there. And then from the command zone this game. So other humans you can show also get +2, +0. So this is going to be a human heavy deck. And then we have the alternate commander here, Kelsine the Plague. For 3, you get a 2/2 as Vigilance and Haste. And then the Plague gets a +1/+1 for each experience counter you have. And then you tap Kelsine, it deals 1 damage to a target creature you don't control. When that creature dies this turn, you get an experience counter. And then what we have here coming up is going to be the partner commanders. We have Trin, Companion of Freedom for 4. It's 3/3. Partner with Sylvar, Devourer of the Free. If you don't use it as a partner and you draw this card, you're allowed to draw the other card once you play this. At the beginning of your end step, if you attack this turn, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. So she lets you create stuff there. And then this is the partner with her. Sylvar, Devourer of the Free. The legendary creature Cat Nightmare. Partner with Trin, Champion of Freedom. Has Menace. Sacrifice a human, put a +1/+1 counter on Sylvar, Devourer of the Free. It gains indestructible until the end of turn. So those are the commanders there. I think out of all of them, I'd probably use the pair since you can have them both ready to go. One's 4, one's 5, so you can use one turn 4, then turn 5. Next up, I'm going to go over, it seems like this is has a lot more white creatures and spells than it has red and black. In fact, there might be more white than red and black combined. So we'll go through those first. So first off, we have a Cavalier Pegasus. Creature Pegasus flying. For 2, you get a 1/1. When Cavalier Pegasus attacks, each attacking human gains flying until the end of turn. Bounty Agent for 2, you get a 2/2 with Vigilance. Sacrifice Bounty Agent, destroy target legendary permanent that's an artifact, creature, or enchantment. So the good thing with the Vigilance, you can attack and then still sacrifice if needed later. For 2 white, you get Knight of the Orchard, creature human knight. First strike 2/2, when Knight of the Orchard enters the battlefield, if an opponent controls more lands than you, you may search your library for a plains card, put it onto the battlefield, then shuffle your library. Thalia's Lieutenant, for 2, a 1/1. Thalia's Lieutenant enters battlefield, put a 1/1 counter on each other human you control. When other humans enter the battlefield under your control, put a 1/1 counter on Thalia's Lieutenant. Banisher Priest, for 3, you get a 2/2. When Banisher Priest enters the battlefield, exile target creature and opponent controls until Banisher Priest leaves the battlefield. Devout Chaplain on a human cleric. Tap this, tap 2 untapped humans you control, exile target artifact or enchantment, and it's a 2/2. Frontline Medic, human cleric, as a battalion, whenever frontline medic and at least 2 other creatures attack, creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn. Sacrifice frontline medic, counter target spell with X in its mana cost, unless that controller pays 3. So I'll get a little bit of a counter spell there in white. Bird Rangers, for 3, you get a 3/3 with first strike. You may look at the top cards of your library anytime. As long as an opponent controls more lands than you, you may play lands from the top of your library. You can play a land this way only if you have an available land play to remaining. So if you already played your land, then you can't. So for 3, you get a 2/2. Tap this, create a 1/1 white human creature token. Fatal Hour, as long as you have 5 or less life, other creatures you control get +2/+2. That's pretty cool. Rider's Gavany has Vigilance for 3/3 for 4. As Rider's Gavany enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Human creatures you control have protection from the creatures of the chosen type. That's nice. Ordric Master Tactician, for 4, you get a 3/4 with first strike. Whenever Ordric Master Tactician and at least 3 other creatures attack, you choose which creatures block this combat and how those creatures block. For 4, we got Magus of Disc. It's a 2/4. Magus of Disc enters battlefield tapped. Pay 1, tap, destroy all artifacts, creatures, and enchantments. So I guess he's a board wipe you can do for 1 at any point after he gets untapped. Dearly Departed here. For 6, you get a 5/5 with Flying Spirit. As long as Dearly Departed is in your graveyard, each human creature you control enters the battlefield with an additional +1/+1 counter on it. So that'll probably be some nice way to just get that into the graveyard somehow. Too bad it didn't have cycling on it. And now we're going to switch from the creatures over to the spells that are not creatures, enchantments, or artifacts. Unexpectedly Absent, X and 2 white. Put target non-land permanent into its owner's library just beneath the top X cards of that library. So you can bury something a little bit. Seems weak. An enchantment for 3, Sanctuary Lockdown. Humans you control get +1/+1. For 2, tap 2 untapped human creatures you control. Tap target creature and opponent controls. And for 3, a Citywide Bust. Sorcery, destroy all creatures with toughness 4 or greater. Which is nice because you're probably going to be creating a lot of 1/1s and then jacking up to 3/1s with the commander. Flawless Maneuver for 3. It's an instant. If you control a commander, you may cast a spell without paying its mana cost. Oh, these are one of the special ones that every deck has. This is the white one. Creatures you control gain indestructible until end of turn. Set that aside. That's probably like $10, $15 card. Call of the Coppercoats for 3, an instant. As Strive, the spell costs 1 and a white more to cast for each target beyond the first. Choose any number of target opponents. Create X/1/1 white human soldier creature tokens where X is the number of creatures those opponents control. Oh, that's nice. Sorcery for 5. Increasing Devotion. Create 5 1/1 white human creature tokens. If the spell is cast from the graveyard, create 10 of those tokens instead. You can flash back from the graveyard for 9, and then you exile it after you do, if you do so. Cleansing Nova for sorcery for 5. Choose one. Destroy all creatures, destroy all artifacts and enchantments. So those are the white spells. These are the red. As you can see, there's significantly less. Start off with creatures first. Humble Defactor for 2 is a 2/1. Human Rogue, tap it, draw 2 cards. Target opponent gains control of Humble Defactor. Activate this ability only during your turn. Alicia, who smiles at death. For 3, it's a 3/2 with first strike. Whenever Alicia, who smiles at death, attacks, you may pay black and white or mix. If you do, return target creature card with power 2 or less from the graveyard to the battlefield tapped and attacking. You can also use this as a commander too because it has the white and black and red in there. So that could be an alternate if you want in there. Magus the Wheel, 3 for 3/3. You can pay 1 in red and tap it. Sacrifice Magus the Wheel. Each player discards their hand, then draw 7 cards. Captive Crew for 4. It's a 4/3 human pirate. For 4, gain control of target creature and opponent controls until end of turn. Untap that creature, it gains haste until end of turn. Activate this ability only time you could as sorcery. Fumiko the Lowblood for 4. Legendary creature, human samurai. 3/2. Fumiko Lowblood has Bushido X, where X is the number of attacking creatures. When this creature blocks or becomes blocked, it gets +X until end of turn. Creatures your opponents control attack each combat if able. So you're kind of goading the entire table. But they can attack you, they don't have to attack other places. For 4, we got Frontier Warmonger, Human Warrior, 4/4. Whenever one or more creatures attack one of your opponents or planeswalkers they control, those creatures gain menace until end of turn. Oh, okay, that'd be yours. I thought it was giving your opponent menace for some reason. Fireflux God for 4. A human soldier, 4/3 with haste. When Fireflux Squad attacks, you may exile another target attacking creature you control. If you do, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card. Put that card on the battlefield tapped and attacking, and the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. So if you got a 1/1 token out there, you can sacrifice it and get a real creature out there instead. A Titan of Eternal Fire for 6. Each human creature you control has red. Tap this creature, deals 1 damage to any target for 5, and it's a 5/6. Now we're switching over to the non-creature spells. Shared Animosity for 3. It's an enchantment. When a creature you control attacks, it gets +1/+0 until end of turn for each other attacking creature that shares a creature type with it. Molten Echoes for 4 and enchantment. As Molten Echoes enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Whenever a non-token creature of the chosen type enters the battlefield under your control, create a token that's a copy of that creature. That token gains haste. Exile at the beginning of the next end step. For 4, Outpost Siege enchantment. As Outpost Siege enters the battlefield, choose Cons or Dragons. Cons at the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of your library until end of turn. You may play that card. Get a little extra card draw. Dragons, whenever your creature you control leaves the battlefield, Outpost Siege deals 1 damage to any target. And then we got here Vigilante Justice for 4 and an enchantment. When a human enters the battlefield under your control, Vigilante Justice deals 1 damage to any target. You're going to be creating lots of human, so that might be add up. And then what we got here, the black one spells, even less. Like I said, I think the black and red added up together don't even equal the white amount of spells that they have in here. So once again, to start off with the creatures, I got Zulaport Cutthroat here for 2. It's a 1/1. Zulaport Cutthroat or another creature you control dies. Each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. Zathrid Necromancer for 3. It's a 2/2 and Zathrid Necromancer, another human creature you control dies. Create a tapped 2/2 black zombie creature token. That could get pretty nice. Disciple of Bolus for 4. It's a 2/1 with Disciple of Bolus. Enters the battlefield, sacrifice another creature. You gain X life and draw X cards, where X is the creature's power. Species Specialist for 4. It's a 2/3 creature human warrior. It's Species Specialist. Enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. Whenever a creature of the chosen type dies, you may draw a card. Get yourself some free draw from sacrificing those humans. Titan Hunter for 5, it's a 4/5 human warrior. At the beginning of each player's end step, if no creatures dies this turn, Titan Hunter deals 4 damage to that player. And then also you can pay 2, sacrifice a creature, and gain 4 life. So instead of losing 4 life at the end of your turn, if you didn't happen to do anything, you can just do something and get some life. Painful Truth for 3 is sorcery. Converge, you draw X cards and you lose X life, where X is the number of colors of mana spent to cast this spell. So you can only have 3, so it's maximum 3 on there. Your commanders only have 3 colors, so I wonder if a colorist counts, but then you would have to pay more, so you can't. Never mind. Bastion of Remembrance for 3, an enchantment. When Bastion of Remembrance enters the battlefield, create a 1/1 white human soldier creature token. Whenever a creature you control dies, each opponent loses 1 life, and you gain 1 life. Have him and that cutthroat on there, and I can get up quick. Ambition costs 4, a sorcery. You draw 3 cards, and you lose 3 life. A little bit of a card draw there. Now I'm going to go through the cards here that are multicolors. There's almost the same amount as black. So, first one we have here is General Enforcer for a white and a black. Creature Human Soldier for 2/3. Get a 2/3 for 2. Legendary humans you control have indestructible. The legendary ones, that is. And then for 4, exile target card from a graveyard. If it was a creature card, create a 1/1 human siege creature token. It's a little bit more token creation there. Now, Hiri the Harbinger for 4, 2, a red and a white. Legendary Planeswalker. +2, you may discard a card. If you do, draw a card. That might go good in a cycle deck. And then for -2, exile target enchantment, tapped artifact, or tapped creature. So you can any enchantment, but the artifact and creature have to be tapped. For -8, search your library for an artifact creature card, put it on the battlefield, and shuffle your library. It gains haste. Return it to your hand at the beginning of the next end step. That's kind of a weak 8. Garna the Blood Flame for 5, 3, and a black and a red. You get a 3/3 legendary creature, human warrior with flash. When Garna the Blood Flame enters the battlefield, return to your hand all creature cards in your graveyard that were put there from anywhere this turn. Other creatures you control have haste, so even if you milled yourself somehow, or somebody milled you, and then you play this, you still get those cards that were put in the graveyard. They don't just have to die. That's pretty cool. And you still get a 3/3. Adriana, Captain of the Guard for 5, a 3, a red, and a white. A legendary creature, Human Knight, 4/4. As melee, whenever this creature attacks, it gets +1/+1 until end of turn. For each opponent you attack with a creature this combat. Other creatures you control have melee as well. Now we got some instants and sorceries and other stuff. So this is Terminate for a black and a red. It is an instant. Destroy target creature. It can't be regenerated. Dire Tactics, a white and a black. Instant, exile target creature. If you don't control a human, you lose life equal to that creature's toughness. And now we got Crackling Doom for all 3 colors. Red, white, and black. It's an instant. Crackling Doom deals 2 damage to each opponent. Each opponent sacrifices a creature with the greatest power among creatures that player controls. Alright, I'll just run through these quick. These are the ones, these are the impetus that are in all of the Ikoria ones. So I'll just go through this quickly. There's one of each color. So this first one, the white one, Martial Impetus for 2 and a white for 3. Enchantment Aura, enchant creature gets +1/+1 and is goaded if it has to attack everything. And then if you put it on somebody else's creature, they have to attack somebody else unless they can only attack you. Whatever enchanted creature, other creatures that are attacking one of your opponents gets a +1/+1 till end of turn. So this one you might want to keep in the deck and actually put out your own creature, because I can just swing in with everything and everything gets a +1/+1. These other ones you don't want to keep, probably. Parasitic Impetus for 3. Enchantment Aura, this is the black one. Enchantment Creature. Enchant creature gets +2/+2 and is goaded. Whenever a enchant creature attacks, its controller loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. And then Shiny Impetus, again for 3. Enchantment Aura, enchant creature gets +2/+2 is goaded. When a enchanted creature attacks, you create a treasure token where you can just sacrifice to get any color mana you want. If you do keep those last two, you'd want to put them on your opponents, not yourself. Unless you have something you plan on just attacking with every single time. And then I'll go through here. So these are like artifacts and equipments that are non-mana based that are included. First one here is a very good one. Skull Clamp for 1. Artifact equipment, equipped creature gets +1, -1, which is kind of a lame stat. But when equipped creature dies, draw 2 cards, equip for 1. So you got all those 1/1s. You pay 1 to basically just draw 2 cards, and you can keep paying that 1 and re-equipping and killing your 1/1s and drawing cards if needed be. So it's kind of a broken draw card right there. Very good inclusion. Next is Sanctuary Blade for 2. As Sanctuary Blade enters the battlefield, you can attach it to a creature, then you choose a color. Equipped creature gets +2 and has protection from the last chosen color, or equip it from 3 if it gets knocked off of a creature. Heron Blade for 3. Equipped creature gets +3, +1. When equipped creature dies, you may reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card that shares a creature type with it. Put that card into your hand and the rest on the bottom of your library in random order, and equip it for 1. And then before I get into all the land stuff, I'll just go through the tokens that they've included. So the first 5 are all human soldiers. They just got 3 different styles for some reason. And then the second 5s are all just human, 1/1 humans. And then on the back, the 1/1 humans, they have treasure. And then all of the other ones, they do have the same zombie, 2/2 zombie. So basically, even though they got different styles, just 4 different tokens there. Now I'll go through, well, here's the basic land that they included, not the special land, but so they gave you 4 red, 4 black swamp, and then you get 8 plains or white mana. So it kind of matches, like I said, there's a lot more, almost double white creature and spell cards than there are of the red and black combined. And the mana reflects that in the basic mana. And then here are the last part. This is your mana base, including artifacts and enchantments that produce mana. Number 1, you got the Soul Ring on there. Tap it for 2 colorless, cost 1. Orzo Signet, cost 2, and you can pay 1 and get a white and a black. Radko Signet, pay 2, for 2 you pay 1. Tap it, get a red and a black. Bonder's Ornament. This card is for 3. You can tap it for any color mana, or you pay 4. Each player who controls Bonder's Ornament draws a card. I don't know why you do that. You'd just be giving your opponents free card draw. Arcade Signet for 2. Tap it for any color in your commander's color identity. Boros Signet, same once again for 2. Pay 1, tap it, get a red and white. Commander Sphere, kind of like the Arcade Signet, except it costs 3. And then once again, you can tap it for any color in your commander's identity, but then also you can sacrifice at any point to draw a card. Battle Forge, land comes in untapped, and then you can tap it for colorless, or you can tap it for a red-white, and then it'll deal 1 damage to you if you need the color. Exotic Orchard, land, tap 1 mana of any color that a land an opponent controls could produce. Shadow Bridge, land, pay 1, tap it for a red or red and black. Smoldering Marsh, land, tap it for red and black. Smoldering Marsh enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or more basic lands. Spina Rock Knoll, land, Hideaway. This land enters the battlefield tapped. When it does, look at the top 4 cards of your library, exile 1 of them face down, then put the rest on the bottom of your library. Tap it for a red, pay a red and tap it. You may play the exile card without paying its mana cost if an opponent was dealt 7 or more damage this turn. A little bit of a mouthful there. Windbrisk Heights, it's a land, Hideaway. Once again, when you can exile 4 cards from the top when you play it. Tap it for white, or pay a white and tap it. You may play the exile card without paying its mana cost. If you attacked with 3 or more creatures this turn, this one will probably end up helping you out more than the other. Bakaju Bog, enters the battlefield tapped. When Bog enters the battlefield, exile all cards from target player's graveyard. little bit of graveyard hate there. Orson, when it enters the battlefield, return a land you control, and you can get it for a red and a white. Good card. Commander Tower, tap it for any color and your commander's color identity, and it's a land, you don't have to pay for it. Myriad Landscape, enters battlefield tapped. Tap it for colorless, pay 2 and tap it. Myriad Landscape, search your library for up to 2 basic land cards that share a land type, put them on the battlefield tap, then shuffle your library. Nomad Outpost, enters the battlefield tapped, and you can tap it for all 3 colors. Orzhov Ballistica, so it enters battlefield tapped, and then you have to return land to your hand, and then you can tap. Whenever you tap it, you get 2 mana, a white and a black. Path of Entry enters the battlefield tapped. Tap it, add 1 mana of any color and your commander's color identity. When that mana is spent to cast a creature spell that shares a creature type with your commander, scry 1 for free. Radkos Cranium. Radkos enters the battlefield tap. When a Cranium enters the battlefield, return a land card. Once again, you can tap it for 2, this time a red and a black. Temple of the False God. It's a land, tap it for 2, colorless. Activate this ability only if you control 5 or more lands. So you have to have at least 4 out before you should play that and be able to get any value out of it. As unclaimed territory here, it enters the battlefield, choose a creature type. You can tap it for colorless, or you can tap it, add 1 mana of any color. You can only spend that mana to cast the spell of that chosen creature type. Most everything is here in human, so I just obviously pick human. Bloodfell Caves, generic thing here. This comes in tapped. You gain a life, and then you can tap it for a red or a black. Evolving Wilds, you can sacrifice this land, and then for a basic land card, put it on battlefield tapped. Scored Barrens. Once again, just like the last one, comes in tapped, you get 1 life, and then you can tap it for a white or a black. And this is Windscarred Crag, the same, except it is a red and white version of that. And that is everything there, folks. That is all you get. Discover more with Magic. Thanks for watching. Let me know what you're going to do with Gianna Kudrow. Are you going to switch it out to those 2? Or are you going to switch it out and use that one? Or do you have another commander? I'm going to go ahead and see what to upgrade this, and I'll put out an upgrade video once I get it set up to where I kind of like it, and show you what I added and what I took out of it, and who I'm using as my commander. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.